Welcome back, Renegades. I'm a little bit late to the party with this one, but what a joy to see that Ren has... Did he win an award, or has he just performed at the awards? He was nominated, I suppose, at the very least. But yeah, first TV appearance. I'm not sure how important TV is these days, the mainstream stuff, but it's another step on the ladder, isn't it? Another notch on the bedpost, so to speak. Let's check it out.
It's a strange time we're living in.
Great flares Romain's got on in there.
It's a very strange time we're living in. It's a strange time we're living in, panic and hysteria. Poor men learn that rich men don't care for you. Narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. Our government of hypocrites, a counterfeit. Politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Needlessly bleeding, resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street born in fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain. My fingers on the trigger of a money game.
It's just wonderful to see a performance of this one, isn't it? Because there's the live performances, the videos of part 1 and part 2, but this only had the lyric video, didn't it, which as well was exquisite, and then that lovely bit of him walking on the beach just reciting it, which I loved also. There's a black star on his cap. Does anybody know the significance of that, or what that cap is? Because I seem to notice that star everywhere, and I know it makes me think of David Bowie's last album, Black Star, but I'm not sure if there's something I'm missing apart from that, but I do seem to see it a lot of places. And I guess, so who are in the audience here, man? Who are at these tables? Who else performed at this show? Who won awards? Anyone I would have heard of? A lot of industry people there and stuff as well, I guess. It's some of the Money Game trilogy is some of my favourite work of his, I think. It's really cool. Great to see him perform.
There's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain. My fingers on the trigger of a money game. Rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. Those who rise, who distorted lies, poison in the veins. We like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easy all to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Ooh, 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 this old money game. This old. And money is a game, and the ladder we climb will turn a saint to a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in the nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on the seashore.
I know. Now it's come out, or now it's said that he's suffering again, and I don't think I would have really noticed, having not known that. But when he got up and down a minute ago, it was just a bit more slow, wasn't it? So the fact that he just does all this, through the pain and still performs, and that, it's awesome to see. And that line a second ago, his intonation on motherfuckers, he's speaking to some of the people in the audience, isn't he? Certainly people in the industry, who perhaps may think they are beyond reproach. Is that the right phrase for it? But what it makes me think of is that famous John Lennon thing in the early Beatles days at the Royal Variety Show, when for Twist and Shout he said, "But for this next number, I would like to, ask for your assistance. Can the people in the cheaper seats clap your hands, and the rest of you just rattle your jewellery?" And Alan Davis did a documentary for the Greatest Britain series like 20 years ago about John Lennon, and the way he tells it in that apparently somebody had to convince him beforehand to tone it down and say that, rather than saying, if the people in the cheaper seats will clap your hands and if the rest of you will just rattle your fucking jewellery. So it would have been great if it said that, wouldn't it? But different times, I suppose.
A Satan to a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in the nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on the seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step one, you must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sound much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island, stockpile them high until they're rarer than a dime is step two. You gotta make the people think that they want them really fucking.
I mean, it is business economics in a nursery rhyme, isn't it? And it's beautiful and it's gorgeous. And as I've said many times before, the extreme power that Ren cultivates with something so minimal, that's perhaps one of the most. I mean, there are many inspiring things about Ren, but perhaps one of them is that these things don't have to be complicated, Brilliance doesn't have to be complicated. Great art doesn't have to be complicated. It can be complex, I suppose, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Is that a contradiction to say that? Are those two words too much the same? Complex and contradicted? Anyway, I think you know what I mean. And what a joy it has been to get on board late with the Ren journey. I've only been doing this like 6-7 months, and I know he's been at it a long time. And he kind of blew up with High Ren before. But understanding, going back through his catalogue and understanding the journey, and hearing about his problems and his trials and his tribulations and stuff, to be here now performing this song on this stage at this show, it's a very cool choice of song, isn't it? Because I suppose he could have done any song, right? But he chose to do this one. It's cool, man. It's cool. More power to him, man. Solidarity, Ren. Love to, yeah.
People think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island, stockpile them high until they're rarer than a dime is step two. You gotta make the people think that they want them, really fucking want them, really want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, you're just a fucking waste, man. Free, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4, expand, cliff forest, make land, fresh blood on hand. 5, why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6, guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rocks.
And just the way he's able to build it, with the passion in his voice, and perhaps the tempo of both of them is maybe increasing slightly, which of course is natural in any sort of performances. It's right, and natural in any performance as you are taken by the material, because as artists or as songwriters, I feel we create, and then. Well, a good example, I think, is recently I've been watching some old Rolling Stones interviews and some more recent ones actually. But Keith Richards was speaking about writing Satisfaction, which I've heard him speak about many times before. There's the story of he played it into a cassette one night, the Satisfaction riff and the main melody, and woke up the next morning with no memory of having done it, and he just realised, he noticed that the tape was at the end, and then he played it back, and there's like 30, 50 seconds of satisfaction, and then 40 minutes of him snoring. But my point is that then he said that they recorded it like the next week, and then it was out, so it was brand new, and he didn't have time to really to learn it, to explore it, and for it to sit in. And he said he spent like ever since then, he said he's still learning it, he's still finding out new things when they perform it, or when they play it, when they practice it, whatever. There's still, and that's a beautiful thing, I think. And I guess my point is that as songwriters, you write something, and then in performance, you allow it to take you, even to evolve, to have ever slight variations, maybe even bigger variations. But I mean, Romain as a star as well, isn't he, man? I love him just sitting there with that bag on his head, playing the guitar, being a trooper, man. And what a and most great. There are, I don't know about most great, but there are great examples of that dynamic, aren't there? Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Liam Gallagher, Noel Gallagher, Dave Gahan, Martin Gore. I could go on. Steven Tyler, Joe Perry. There's always a magic, that is sort of created in that. Morrissey, Johnny Marr. In the case of Morrissey, Johnny Marr, I'm not going to get into that right now, actually. But this is class, isn't it? The way he's able to build the tension and tell the story, and there's nothing there. There's just a guitar and his voice, and it's so empowering, man. It's so fucking cool to see.
Make land, fresh blood on hand 5. Why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6 guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rocks, sell time to a clock. 7 press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes and run to be the president of the United States. 8 big smile, mate, big wave, that's great. The truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9 polarize the people, controversy is the game. Don't matter if they hate you, they all say your name. Step 10. The world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore. Rain, 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 rain. Storm it comes our way. Those who rise, who distorted lies, poison in the veins. We like to point the blame. We like to point the blame. Point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old morning game. Ooh, this old morning game.
Yeah, he's in a bit of pain there, isn't he?
Money game. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, yes, indeed, man. What a great, it's just great, isn't it, man? Great stuff. Going back to the point I was going to make about Johnny Marr and Morrissey. Or even it can be about Ashcroft and Nick McCabe, who's the guitar player in the Verve, is he, I think. Watching some of their solo performances in like later years where they would do Smith songs or Verve songs, and I remember one particular festival appearance of Morrissey doing How Soon Is Now, and it just felt pretty empty. And I've noticed that sometimes, not always with Ashcroft stuff, but his solo albums anyway, there seems to be a dynamic that cannot always be. It's like the greater than the sum of their parts, if you know what I mean. And I know that Ashcroft wrote most of Urban Hymns, and it was going to be his first solo album, and then him and Nick sort of hung out again or something, and then Nick put guitar down on it. And sometimes I have heard Richard Ashcroft say in interviews that he should get more credit for that album because it would have been his first solo album, but I think that extra thing that other person brings is it's there to hear, for anyone who listens. And the same can be said, I guess, about Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, about their solo albums. As much as I love some of the tunes on some of their solo work, there's not that kind of alchemy, that exists with two great people together. I mean, of course, Ren is a David Bowie, isn't he? He's an outlier. He's an outlier. And it's got me thinking now, actually. I'm thinking like Lennon McCartney. That was, I suppose, a different dynamic because as mind-blowingly brilliant as the Beatles were, they both also, did some excellent solo stuff, didn't they? So perhaps they did live up to that thing. So what is my point? Do I have a point? I don't know. I suppose I just enjoy it. I just enjoy seeing Romain and Ren working together, and he's obviously a good friend and a reliable dude as well, man. It's just cool stuff, man. Hopefully, I might get, there's some more big stuff, some more big push stuff left for me to react to. But there's a lot to react to these days. But I will drop in the odd one from the big push because I miss them, man. They're a cracking band, isn't it? But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me as always. Thanks for the love and support. Love you a long time. Have an awesome week. Take care of yourselves, because it is important. Because you're important. Everything can be wonderful. Just believe it can. It's a start. See you soon.